This is the University of Tampa. UT students travel from across the nation and around the globe to join a dynamic learning community. There are 150 academic programs, continuing studies for non-traditional students, and a highly ranked graduate school. Academic opportunities are extensive and rigorous, but this mid-sized residential campus retains a welcoming feel. With a student-faculty ratio of 16:1, students benefit from direct interaction with expert faculty, a faculty that is passionate about teaching and mentoring. Outside the classroom, UT enjoys a unique environment. Plant Hall, a National Historic Landmark, is surrounded by modern and historic buildings on 105 acres. UT's beautiful downtown riverfront setting offers a gateway to the heart of a vibrant city. Students are within walking distance of jobs and internships, and the recreational opportunities are endless, both off-campus and on campus. Students live in upscale residence halls and enjoy diverse activities, including performing arts, guest lectures, nearly 200 clubs and organizations, and a nationally ranked NCAA Division II athletics program. The UT experience begins with an innovative first-year program and continues with opportunities to challenge yourself in the honors program, to study abroad, to conduct research with faculty, to do an internship, to volunteer in the community, or to participate in multiple leadership programs. Explore your dreams, discover your talents, get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
In the late 1920s, the prospect of a Hillsborough High student enrolling in college was bleak. The nation was in the throes of the Great Depression. Businesses were failing, and many of Tampa's beautiful waterfront homes were left abandoned. The principal at Hillsborough High, Frederick Spalding, didn't see these barriers. He only saw bright young students who were in need of a place to continue their learning. In 1931, collegiate-level courses were offered at Hillsborough High. This would later become the University of Tampa. On August 2, 1933, Spalding arrived at the doors of Plant Hall with a 100-year lease from the city and a firm resolve, and with the turn of a key, opened the door to the University of Tampa. In its fledgling years, UT was fortunate if it could collect half of the tuition due from its students. It was only through the dedication of its professors, who worked without pay, that the university survived the Great Depression. Over the next several decades, UT grew slightly, enrolling up to 1,800 at times, starting several sports teams, and even began accepting students from other areas of the country. But in the early 90s, the growth seemed to stand still, even stop. UT needed new life, some passion. UT needed strong leadership.
In 1995, Dr. Vaughn became president, and UT began to transform. 1,000 UT students has become 7,200, and we are now entering our 17th consecutive year of record enrollment. All the while, UT's academic profile continues to increase. There has been $350 million in new construction since 2000. We have added 7 new residence halls, academic buildings and labs, as well as athletic facilities. Plant Hall even got new carpet and new windows. UT now has more than 3,000 events annually and 200 clubs and student organizations. We have won 13 NCAA Division II championships, and since 2000, Spartan teams have won 35 Sunshine State Conference titles. As a member of the University of Tampa Spartan family, you are a guiding force behind UT's remarkable success. We are alums, students, parents, and friends, and together we are changing lives. We are individuals, yet the greater whole is only complete when we work together. You have helped make UT a vibrant community with growing resources and a superior reputation. Just like in the beginning when professors worked without pay, the spirit of giving at UT remains strong. Last year, nearly $14 million was donated to the university by thousands of generous supporters. When we strengthen education, we strengthen our job force and our nation as a whole. Donations support academics, campus life, and a student's ability to afford an education. Your participation is what matters most and shows that our Spartan family believes in the future of UT. Whatever level of support, your gift is important to us and enables UT to provide the challenging, high-quality education that has defined our university. Thank you for helping UT achieve such great success.
And we're underway, game 2. A very quick start. Senior Day festivities just occurred here at the Nemoli Family Stadium. Spartans, Buccaneers, ready to go with the final game of the series. Spartans are already able to win the series with their Game 1 victory earlier today, Brandon. A good 2-0 victory for the Spartans.
I don't think it's fully satisfactory for them. They want to get that sweep with this last one. So we'll see if they can do so with Feldman at the circle.
Last season, Feldman had transferred from Utah and lit the Sunshine State Conference on fire with one of the best pitching seasons in terms of ERA in Spartans history. And so far from the circle, hasn't done too bad. 2.61 ERA with 59 innings, has a 9-0 record. Ironically enough, the only pitcher with losses this season is Mariah Galehouse. As that one was bunted foul for strike 2. Wanted to keep a quick eye on that because it was a 2-2 count. That would have been out strike number 3 and out number 1. But a 3-2 and 2-0 victories to start out the series, Brandon.
It's pretty good. Don't concede that many runs. Get enough runs to get on the board and get the win.
A great throw from Russo for round number 1 on the bunt to third base. What a way to start the ballgame. Bunn, Rushton, Lee are the leadoff hitters for Barry this inning. They'll be followed by Lord, Stone Fulmore, Bailey, who makes an appearance today, Mellor, Shamora, who's also a change, and Heller. Ball 1 taken. Taking a look at the Spartans lineup, no visible changes in the field for them. They're running the same group as they have before. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Count goes 1-1. This one bounces off the screen. It wasn't actually caught in play. Another bunt, looking for small ball here. Oof, good play over at first by Weininger to make sure the throw didn't get to the outfield, because it was a really good bunt that Rushton was able to beat out. The throw wasn't on target, and I think it is right to call it a hit because she was going to be safe.
Yeah, very close there from being E5 if that ball would have been over DeSimone's head, but...
Actually, DeSimone came
excuse me, Weininger's head, but very good cover by Weininger.
Yeah, she did a great job of getting to it and making sure it didn't get far, because that puts a runner in scoring position at second, third, even further sometimes if it gets really far down the line.
That's what happened the game one Friday night against the Buccaneers. That's how they scored the 2 runs.
Missed outside 1-1, and a similar play where there was an error that saw the ball go down that right field line for KT Simone last season. She got an inside the park home run with an asterisk. It was only an error, like single double, but she scored on it. So fun outing. Throw from Chevalier, and not enough time to make the tag, so the runner is safe as the count goes 1-2, I believe. Rushton will steal a base, prove her total for the season. Good throw from Chevalier, but Weininger not able to make the tag in time. That's chopped over to Weininger. 2 away, runner on third. So a little bit of sacrifice hitting there to get a runner just 66 feet away from home, or maybe 60. And that brings up Riley Lord. Strike one taken. Tyrone Miller behind home plate. Stephen Lewis in the infield. Those are the 2 umpires flipping spots from game 1. High for ball 1. Frame attempt didn't work for Chevalier. 2-1. Lord this season has 18 RBIs. She leads the Bucks in that category. Not a surprise to see her batting cleanup here. Count goes 2-2. This one will foul off the net. And missed by both DeSimone and Stone Fulmar on deck. Swung on and missed. Feldman gets an important strikeout to end the inning. 1 hit conceded, but that runner will get stranded at third. The Spartans will have a chance at the bottom of the first to get a run on the board as we remain tied to start the game.
I
am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
Here's what.
And we're ready to go here in the bottom of the first. For the Spartans, they do make a change in the order. Fantone Keister lead off, Weininger batting third, Russo batting fourth, Galehouse batting fifth. Rest of the lineup in the same order. For defense, Bailey in left field, Lee in center field, Heller in right field, Lord, the third base player, Stone Fulmar at short, Rushton, the second base player, and Mylor at first. Bun and Pasma form the battery. Pasma, the two-way player, in the circle. Oh, okay, so that's an error on the stat sheet. Pitching is Lee. Cassandra Lee is in the circle, so apologies on that. Taken low for ball one. Fantone's going to chop this over to short. Stone Fulmar makes the play in time, one away.
Good job by Stone Fulmar to get the speedy Fantone out just in time for the first out of the inning.
Fantone giving a little bit of advice for Lily Keister as they get ready. Keister hitting .398 this season. That number dropping just a little bit from the previous game. A good game here would get it back over 400 as she chases that milestone. Say it's a... Here's the pitch. Taken for ball number 2. Keister quickly ahead in the count.
Close one there. High inside on that one. Keister almost fell for that one, but good eye nevertheless.
Lee so far with 84 strikeouts to 37 walks. This one's grounded up the middle. Stone Fulmar, running grab for out number 2.
Just very fluid in her play. Makes the grounder she makes it look effortless. Very easy. She paces well, throws it.
Yeah, very good play there, just getting to it. And yeah, as you mentioned, almost effortless in that grab.
And you have to mention the off-balance play. Like, that's very hard for most players to do, and she just makes it look very easy.
So great stuff there at short. That's going to bring up Weininger. And that'll be the inning. She grounds out to Cassandra Lee. It's a 1-2-3 inning. The Spartans are down in order. And, well, under the top of the second, still tied at 0. Oh, somebody call 911.
Tom, when you order food for like the crew, how much does it usually cost around like
Here's the first pitch of the inning. Taken for strike one with Russo at the plate. It's taken for strike two. Russo, Gelhaus, and Perkins due up. Fouled away. Another hard line drive, but goes into the foul netting. Lee gets the sign she likes. Chopped on the ground. And a good play at short to get the out. Great reactions again there from Stone Fulmar. Fouled away for strike one. Good. And by the way, I don't think we were muted at the start of the game, but in case we were, we are live with game number 2 as currently Dunn gets checked out after that foul tip deflected off her. Looks like she'll be okay, though, which is a good sign. Always dangerous behind home plate. Here's the 0-1. Gelhaus fouls it away. The count goes 0-2. And now an 0-2 here for Gelhaus, trying to get her first hit of the series. And that one is about a 50-foot pitch, even maybe shorter, as it rolls on the ground for ball one. Taken outside for ball two. Well, currently on a little slump, Gelhaus has still had such a great season at the plate.
Still hasn't found a hit in the series.
Ball just missing outside for ball three. And then I'll bring up Perkins. Fouled away. Gals keeps alive in the full count. Chopped on the ground, and Gelhaus be able to run it out. She gets aboard for the first time this weekend.
And she can finally breathe as she takes a little breath of relief as she goes past first base to finally get her first hit in this game series.
And that'll be a sweet smile of relief she'll have at first base as she gets ready with Perkins stepping up with one away. It's Galehouse 36th hit of the season. It's now taking the outright lead from Lily Keister at the plate. Ball one taken for Perkins. Her average has fallen to set 375 after game one. Galehouse is going to go to second, and that is a quick stolen base. For Galehouse, that's number 9 on the season, and she hasn't been caught yet.
I'm surprised that that last pitch, it was called a ball because Perkins' bat didn't really retract, but I guess the umpire's attention was focused on the runner.
Might have just held up in time, too, but I agree. Certainly interesting as we have a 2-0 count. Count goes 2-1 as Perkins fouls this one away. With one out here, a real chance to try to do some damage for the Spartans. Chevalier, who had a clutch hit last time, is on deck. And did Perkins go around? No. Count goes 3-1. Okay, so 2-2 now. Chopped over to second. And the toss to first. Safe. They didn't get it in time.
Well, she tried to dig it up and scoop it up to her via glove instead of just taking it out of the glove, and took too much time on it. Perkins, very speedy individual, advances the runner, does her job as a slap hitter to put Galehouse at third.
Yeah.
One runner in scoring position now, 0-0. We'll see if they can get the first run of the game.
Had potential just to be a good sacrifice, but great hustle from Perkins in the base path. Swing and a miss. Runner goes. And, well, that was an attempt to try to get a throw to second that would allow Galehouse to try to score. Bunn read it and threw back to third to make sure Galehouse wasn't going to try to steal, so Perkins gets into second safely. That's her first stolen base of the season.
Wow.
Chopped on the ground, a short, and they'll make the play at the plate. Runners at the corners now with 2 outs.
Yeah, I don't see why she has so much urgency to go home. There's only 1 out left. She could have waited until the shortstop Formar threw it to first, but nevertheless, just couldn't wait on that one. I would say she should have waited a little bit more, Taylor, just a little bit more time, and then once she would have thrown, then go for home. It would have been a closer play at that one.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Just kind of give some more time for the play to develop because she was running immediately, and that made the decision for Fulmar very easy just to send it home. First pitch misses for ball 1 to DeSimone. Strike 1 taken.
Ooh.
2-1. Good take on the outside corner. Cantor talking it over with DeSimone quickly as they strategize what to do here. Lord ready for a potential bunt, playing forward. Notice a big gap in the middle of the field. DeSimone can just ground it past Lee and get
right
it in
past
that
it,
spot.
yeah.
And give the Spartans a lead.
Good read there, Taylor.
Corners far in. The hit and run fouled away, and the count goes 2-2. And I think with where the infielders are, you might as well try to steal second. No one's going to be there to cover.
No one's going to be there. But it would prompt Perkins to go home.
Chopped foul.
Foul.
It was a late reaction there from Miller, but the foul call was given. Two and two here with 2 aboard and 2 away.
Yeah, DeSimone, you really want to capitalize on this opportunity. Get at least 1 run in before they get the 3 outs.
Fouled away again. DeSimone stays alive.
Yeah, that was her pitch, but late pull on that one. She would have had an earlier hit contact to it. She could have hit it right up the middle. Or maybe a little blooper to shallow center.
I'll say at the very least, she does get to it, does keep alive. You
Does
gotta
keep
protect
it alive,
a 2-strike count with this.
You have to, yeah.
Swung on and missed. That's the first strikeout of the game for Lee to get out of the jam. 2 Spartan runners get aboard, but both get stranded. We'll be back at the top of the 3rd right after this. Feldman back, top of the 3rd. Heller, Bunn, and Rushton leading off. One around, strike 1. Fouled away, it's 0-2. Popped up. DeSimone makes the catch, foul territory, 1 away. That'll bring up Harper Bunn, the leadoff hitter. Bunn grounded out to 3rd last time on a good throw by Alexa Russo. Saw in those first innings a few bunt attempts there by Barry, and some of them actually worked.
Oh. Wild pitch on that one. Luckily, no one was on base Taylor for that.
Yeah, that would have advanced the runner, surely. The 2-run now from Feldman. Misses low, and it's ball 3. On deck is Rushton, who has one of the 3 hits of... Did they call it 2-2? Okay, wow, so they did call it a strike. Must have swung at it. Fouled away. Ball 3 and the count goes full. Very close.
Good location by Feldman. Full count. And she earns the walk as Bunn goes to first. That'll bring up Rushton, number 23. Feldman deals. First pitch low for count 1-0. The 1-0 swing and a miss. Foul tip back. Rushton's last at bat, she singled and she actually reached to third base before the inning end. Infield fly. Chevalier is there for the first out in a double play. As Bunn wasn't aware that she thought it was a foul ball, and she ran the bases. She wasn't being very logical in that play, and she gets the double play. Good defensive playing by Chevalier, and as well as to Weininger.
Yeah, and indeed. Because Bunn, I think she forgot there was only one out.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know what happened, but nevertheless, the Spartans do go down. They go to the bottom of the third here on the TampaSpartans.tv.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
And we're back with the bottom of the third. Spartans, Bucks, still tied. Both teams have got some offense, but haven't been able to convert. And very interesting ends of the inning on that double play.
Yeah, very interesting. Always a head scratcher for the coach. You never want to have those plays, especially reinstilling that into practice. This is what they prepare for, but nevertheless, you have to move on. We're through 3.5. We're in the bottom of the third here, having Stephanie Baumer, the number 9 batter, up to the plate.
That one misses low for ball 1. And I got to say, corner's playing quite in. Mellor and Lord ready for any bunts the Spartans put down. Although we haven't seen the Spartans very active doing that. They usually like to do it with runners aboard rather than bases empty.
And might have mentioned they actually switched Rushton and Lord. So Rushton was playing third, now she's playing second. Lord was playing second, now she's playing third.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rushton was at third in that first game, but Barry decided to make a change, switch things up in the infield, and see how those changes continue to impact the game. 1-1 here from Lee. And that bunt goes foul. 1-2. Spartans have 241 runs this season. They're 4 away from breaking the all-time record for runs in a season for a Spartans team.
Very impressive.
Held back, the count goes 2-2. Full count now. On deck is Fantone, the leadoff hitter. So far, it's been a quiet day for the top of the Spartans order. The bottom half has done a little more success getting on base. That previous walk from Feldman was the first walk all day here. And this will be the second. Ballmer gets aboard to start the inning. That brings up Lauren Fantone. And Jack Ike always says that when you issue a leadoff walk to start an inning, that means you get a 66% chance to score a run.
Oh, he does say that. Yes, he does.
He likes to say that.
Yeah.
And I got to say, that could be good news for the Spartans. Let's see what Fantone does here. The infield ready for a potential sacrifice here. Fantone pulls back for ball 1. But you got Keister, Weininger, and Russo following up after Fantone. So certainly a good idea to maybe bring in the runner to second before having those hitters come up. And a little quick circle visit here. Going over, I think, a couple situation type of things for Lee, talking about how to handle this spot where a sac bunt is likely. Currently 34-2 Tampa Spartans after this series wraps up here against Barry. We'll be home next weekend against St. Leo before finishing the regular season at Lynn on the road. And then, of course, there will be NCAA tournament play likely back home at Nemoli Family Stadium. As the bunt is dropped perfectly down for Fantone. No one ready to pick it up. She gets aboard.
Like a dead ball in the water, it just dropped down. Perfectly placed. And she gets right the first to advance the run into scoring position.
The perfect bunt. So not only does it get a runner in scoring position, Fantone gets aboard for Lily Keister. And now Keister can try a sacrifice bunt and put both runners just very close to home.
Very close. Surprised it didn't go foul.
I'm actually a little bit surprised, too, because you're always expecting more of a bounce. But as you said, sinking into the bottom of the ocean.
What she did, she angled her bat a little bit more like in the 105-degree angle, and that's what it had. That's when it dropped like that in the middle. But, I mean, it glazed the bottom of it, and that's where you want to target it, but it doesn't always work in your favor, so it's very hard to get it.
Yeah, and that's where it usually will bounce back for a foul ball. So she got lucky on that, but a very well-executed bunt. This count goes 0-1 to Keister, who misses a bunt attempt for strike 1. Keister drops it down. This time it rolls foul, so it'll be 0-2. She might try again, or maybe try to put a slap hit on the ground and see how the runners advance. Keister grounded it out to short last time and fouls this one away, keeping alive. Keister with a little blooper It gets down, and the bases are loaded for Cameron Weininger.
Keister waited on it late, had a little nice slash to it, a little uppercut swing to it too to get it down to left field. Nevertheless, they have bases loaded now with 0 outs. So a perfect opportunity for the Tampa Spartans to get at least 1 run on board. The force will be to home. We'll see if there is a grounder. We'll see what the Buccaneers defense will react to.
First pitch, Weininger lines it to left field. That's RBI 35 in the season. Here comes 36. Well, actually, that might only count as the first one, as it wasn't fielded cleanly in left field. And the reason I mention that...
So unearned.
Yeah,
okay.
So, or would probably be unearned. We'll have to see how it's scored. But Weininger, depending on how many runs she scored, either is drawn level at 35 with Galehouse or has taken the outright lead as there is a pitching change for Barry. We'll get you the full details on that as we take a quick break, as entering the game and warming up will be number 77. We'll be right back.
I pledged.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing.
So Marcy Barnhart will enter the circle. 2-0 Spartans lead, and there was 1 RBI on the play for Weininger. That brings her total to 35, but Barnhart's been pretty active this weekend, Brandon.
Pretty active. Very active, Taylor. Had a total of 144 pitches. This makes 105 in less than 24 hours. I believe you could say an 18-hour range.
Yeah.
But 145 pitches in less than 24 hours. I did not expect her to get another start. I mean, not a start here, but even come back into the game. But she fumbled the ball. Lee fumbled the ball. So she will have the out at third, but a frustrating play for the Spartans because she definitely would have had that ball. She would have kept it clean, but they get the first out. So Lee, having been in the circle, did not do her job. She subbed out to left field.
Yeah, it feels like everything today, just moving at 500 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's
still
just
introducing players. Talk about Barnhart's very long outing as Bailey just can't make the play in left. Does get the force out at third after the drop. So there's now 2 away with 2 aboard. And, that's going to bring up Galehouse. And actually, hold on, I think it just might be, there's only 1 out. My bad.
Yeah, the first out, yeah.
Yeah, so interesting on the base paths there. Because Keister, running the third, has to come back to tag up. But, of course, it was dropped. This one gets away. Okay. Okay, so for back, so Lee is out actually in left field. We still have to get the entire order set. I think she might have just moved to left field from the circle. And thank you for helping me out with that, Brandon.
No problem.
You got the better eye in the sky right now than me.
Had to help Bruce out with his contacts yesterday too. He couldn't see because of the sun, but luckily the sun set it perfectly in the middle of the 4th inning, so we could commentate accordingly. So yeah. You have your sunglasses on. How do you feel?
Yeah, pretty good. It's not too bright out. I might actually remove them a little bit later. For now, Galehouse in a 2-2 count with 2 runners aboard. There was a wild pitch to put it both in scoring position. fouled away.
Yeah, she's stepping too much into the box. She needs to stay back and just wait for her pitch and just drive and let those legs do the talking. You know, you have the lower left, also the hip movement that needs to come into play. But she's stepping out and just not having a good balance with her swing.
Especially because the sacrifice would bring home a run. Just got to stay in the box.
Yeah. Just lunging.
Count stays 2-2 after this foul ball.
So Spartans, 2 runners in scoring position with 1 out. Two runs already, 2-run lead. They have insurance runs definitely. As she swings and misses, they get the tag for the second out. But nevertheless, they have 2 insurance runs early on. It's very good for the Spartans. They get some scores on the scoreboard because you never know if the Buccaneers are going to retaliate in the coming innings.
Indeed, the Spartans will not want to strand these runners, but those 2 insurance runs they just got certainly help as strike 1 is taken down the middle for Perkins. Strike 2. And Perkins quickly down in the count as Barnhart got a strikeout just then to Galehouse. Looking to complete the inning from the circle and keep the damage at a minimum. Swung on and missed. That's her second strikeout. And the Spartans will strand runners, but hold on to a 2-0 lead as we enter the top of the 4th. Lined in a base hit. Russo can't make a diving grab. She was playing a bit shallow. And I think it's a good idea to be ready for any potential bunts. But yeah, just a really difficult play. And if she was at her normal position, that's also still probably really hard to get.
Yeah, but if she was a little bit deep back, she would have had more time to circle around, arcing around to get it behind. But she was just a little bit too shallow on that play, like you just said. Just really glazed right over her glove, got right in between the shortstop, third base gap.
And that's what makes me question whether, if it was a little deeper, whether she could have gotten it, because it was hit squarely in between them.
It kind of curved, though, as it approached shallow left, though.
Anyway, Pasma, no, not Pasma, it's going to be number 4. Let me double check. Stepping up to the plate, Bailey, who fouls this one away. And Bailey's now down 0-2 with Fulmar at first base. Shaw, you can't frame it. The count goes 1-2. Two and two. Swung on and fouled. Almost was missed, but just got a piece of it. Still 2-2. And fouled away. It's 2-2. And full count now would be Mellor on deck, unless they've also changed up that part of the order.
So full count here, 2 outs. Runner on first.
And popped foul. I think a ball had just fallen off the net there onto the field to play or something.
Oh, it got caught.
Yeah. It looked like the third base coach there for Barry was mentioning that. As ball 4 misses outside, and we'll go again with one more at bat this inning. Tying run now at first, as it's going to be Mellor at the plate. Taken low 1-0. Popped over to right field, tracking back Weininger, but lets Galehouse get on top of it for the final out of the inning. 2 runners get aboard, but both will get stranded. Runner at the bottom of the 4th with a 2-0 Spartan lead.
I pledged.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
Back in the bottom of the fourth, that will bring up Lexi Chevalier. Chevalier is 0 for 1 in the second game. Chevalier batting a 302 with a 340 on base percentage as she hits a grounder. Farmar gets the play just in time for the first out. That brings up number 7, Kate DeSimone. DeSimone is also 0 for 1 in this second game. Spartans up 2-0 here in the bottom of the fourth. She takes the first pitch high. The count 1-0. Barnhart deals inside, right in that corner for a count 1-1. There's an out, ground out. 6-3. DeSimone fouls it down the left field line. DeSimone's last at bat, she struck out swinging. Now she's down 1-2. The 1-2. Outside corner, just outside for a ball. Count now 2-2. Perfectly well placed pitch by Barnhart, I will say that. Looked relatively like a strike. The count now goes full. Barnhart deals grounder right to Farmar. She fields it again and gets the out. So 2 outs down. And that brings up Stephanie Ballmer. Ballmer, her last at bat, she walked. I believe that was the only walk that Barnhart has given up. Excuse me, that was Lee. In the previous outing, Barnhart has not given up any walks so far as she pitches it high inside. Bunt, pops fly back on the screen. I believe she tried to tempt the bunt a little bit too late on that one. The 1-1. Bunts it again, but goes foul. As she steps back into the batter's box, she would look to swing. The 1-2, 2 outs. No runners on base. Bunts it again. And that will seal the deal for the bottom of the fourth. So no runs, no hits, no men left on base, no errors. We go to the top of the fifth here. Tampa Spartans lead 2-0. And we are back here in the top of the fifth. The Tampa Spartans lead 2-0, having given up 4 hits, but having 5 hits of their own. Here we are with Villanueva at the batter's box, and the number 8 hitter for the Buccaneers. She takes the first pitch. Ball for count 1-0. Villanueva batting 159. She takes another pitch, strike, count 1-1. Total at bats is 63. Only has 10 hits on the season so far. At the bottom of the lineup for the Buccaneers, they're trying to get something going that can transfuse into the top of the lineup. She swings and misses. Now count 1-2. Excuse me, 2-2. Swing and a miss. She goes down swinging as Feldman puts her away for the 4th strikeout. That will bring up the number 9 hitter, Heller. Now Heller's last, she bunts it foul. So Heller's last appearance, she was 0 for 1 with a pop fly to first. The 1. Right down the middle. Glazing that lower strike zone. Strike 2. Spartans getting something going here. The 0-2. Outside corner. Now count now is 1-2. Feldman deals. Again, the outside corner, but just can't get it on that strike zone. Having the umpire try to plead to her, but will not. She tries the inside corner now, but his count now is 3-2. So 2 straight balls gets to the full count. Heller steps back into the batter's box. Feldman deals. Line drive, base hit down the left field line. Fantone fields it into Weininger. They get it in just in time as they get a full count single with 1 out left here. And we have both the Buccaneers back in the zone. That will bring up the top of the lineup here. So it's a good position, Taylor, as you were mentioning earlier. This is a good position for the bottom of the lineup to transfuse into the top of the lineup, get them on the board, get somebody on base. That brings up number 22, Bunn.
Yeah, indeed. It's good to see just something different for the Barry
Something
offense.
different.
And also, something different's coming here. Kate DeSimone will take to circle.
So DeSimone, known for her relief pitching and fast pitching, she will take Feldman. She will resume her position.
And we'll take
not really her fault. It's not really just
no, definitely not.
Definitely not. You know, she didn't give up any runs. She gave up 5 hits though. But it's time for a change. We'll see if they can withhold this lead that they have here in the top of the 5th. They're good to go. The umpire signals us that we are good to go. So the top of the lineup will face a new pitcher here. And the first time Kate DeSimone will get a taste of the Buccaneers in this series.
DeSimone hasn't had an earned run throughout her entire season so far. And it'll be interesting to see what she can do now. The runner aboard, one away. Double play opportunities open if they can get it, Brandon.
So Miranda Perez goes to first. And they shifted as DeSimone was playing first base previously. Gerhal still at right. Keys still at center. And Fantone still at left. First pitch is outside corners. Call for a strike. Wild pitch. Runner goes, and she advances to second. Good instincts by Heller. So wild pitch on that one. Chevalier cannot contain it.
Yeah, you see it go high, you might as well take second, and there wasn't enough time for Chevalier to get back to it. For now, it eliminates the double play opportunity.
She takes the ball. Count now is
3-1.
3-1. The 3-1. And she will get a walk for her second batter. That brings on 2 runners now on base, 1 runner in scoring position. We now have number 23, Brooklyn Rushton. Rushton's 1 for 2 on the day. In the second game, the first at-bat, she had a single, but then in the third at-bat, she had a double play. I believe it was that double play that it was the pop fly that Chevalier caught, and then she was the advanced runner, and she did not tag in time.
Yeah, I believe that was the one because, just forgot there was 2 outs on that play, or not 2 outs on that play.
The 1-0 low. Count now is 2-0.
Certainly dangerous here because you got 2 in scoring position. That is the tying run over at first.
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised if another runner gets aboard. They pop in Galehouse from right field into the circle.
I assume that's what they're talking about with Chevalier and Weininger. Weininger could easily get into a double play at the hands of Balmer, starting it with a 6-4-3. Or maybe even the 4-3 double play. We'll see.
Do have the force outs at third and second and first. So quite a lot of spots you can go. I don't think Rushton's going to try to bunt here.
DeSimone will deal. High. Count now is 3-0. So 3 straight balls. And this goes back to your point, Taylor, about potentially seeing another runner get on base and having bases loaded with 1 out is definitely, and we're already having a tying run at first. A walk here will give the leading run to first as she pitches it right down the middle. Count now is 3-1.
It's important to get that strike. And obviously, Rushton was taking all the way.
Swing and a miss. Count now is full count. Interesting sequence of events here. 3 straight balls pitched by DeSimone. And the strike in the inside corner and a strike with Rushton looking puts this into a different set of events. Full count here. Pop fly. Chevalier, can she get it? Oh, she could not see it. Umpire was just in the way, and the sun does come out here. It's been about, an hour and 30 minutes, Taylor? We haven't seen the sun?
Yeah, it's finally coming out here, but also could have just bounced off the roof, too.
Probably.
Because
Probably.
that's probably another reason as well. You always got to be careful. It's hard to see from this view and on camera because the net does extend pretty high up above the room.
Foul back, out of play. Good hustle by Perez. Full count here, 1 out. 1 man in scoring position. Tying runners on first. Swing and a miss. And DeSimone gets her down swinging. So that brings 2 outs left. 1 more out to close out this inning. DeSimone definitely wants to get the former pitcher of this game, Cassandra Lee, out on the batter's box.
Yeah, and a clutch strikeout.
Cassandra Lee. Yeah, clutch strikeout, yes. Definitely want to contain this from escalating as DeSimone deals for the first ball. Count when I was 1-0. Russo talking with DeSimone, telling her just to calm down just a little bit lower. As she deals it, a little bit lower, but just not in the favor that she wanted. Count now is 2-0.
An imperfect command to start out her outing here. But obviously, you're playing the entire game at first base, playing the entire game at the plate.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to always assume you'll be able to immediately settle down and get to work from the circle as the count now goes 2-1.
And you have to switch gloves, too. First baseman glove, and the pitcher's glove, regular glove, if all about preference. Count now is 2-1. Low, but it just glazes the strike zone. Count now is 2-2. A good breaking ball pitch by DeSimone, just to fool Cassandra Lee. She wasn't really too skeptical on that one, but she nevertheless did not want to take her chances. High fly ball. Fantone gets it to close out the inning. The Spartans get out of a little hassle, but they don't conceive any runs. So no runs, no hits. 2 men left on base, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 5th, and the Tampa Spartans still lead 2-0.
We're ready to go. Lauren Fantone leads off for the Spartans. Ready to go. Lauren Fantone leads for the Spartans. Takes up high for ball 1. It's top of the order due up with the Spartans. Definitely a bit of a scary situation that Kate DeSimone was able to work out of the previous inning. Popped up. 1 away. That'll bring up Lily Keister. Barnhart so far through 2 1/3. Has not conceded any hits. That'll be number 1 as this one gets down in left field. Keister with a single to improve to 2 for 3 on the day. And I'll quickly run the numbers. As that brings her total up to 39 and 98, getting her a .397 batting average. One on for Weininger. Taken for ball 1. Check swing fouled away. The worst type of check swing you can do is one where the ball ricochets off the bat. With runners on base, the Spartans are actually 4 for 9. That was their, I think, first hit where they didn't have runners aboard. Game previously. Misses Lone inside. Ball 2. 2-1 for Weininger. Weininger sends this one to the outfield, into the gap. It's going to get down, and the fielders can't get to it. And it is a double for Cameron Weininger to put 2 in scoring position with just 1 away for Russo. I'm not sure whether any of that play will be scored as an error or not. No error. Both runners just advance. Galehouse on deck, Russo at the plate. All the Spartans want is to avoid a double play. Taken for strike 1. Russo fouls this one all the way down the line. Oh, and 2. Interestingly, we actually see with some pinch hit swing or warm-up swings, Caroline Watson could be coming into the game as a pinch hitter. Russo fouls this one away. It's 0-2. And if that change is made, we may have to wait till next weekend to talk about Galehouse trying to break the RBI record in a season for the Spartans. Russo grounds it over to short. The throw home, not in time. Russo's going to get to second on the throwing error. It's a 3-0 Spartans lead. And so with that error, we'll have to see if the RBI counts for Russo. There'll be an unearned run on the plate at the very least for Barnhart. So with 1 away, still 2 in scoring position. And indeed, Galehouse will be pinch hit for. Carolyn Watson enters the game. Also going to see a pinch fielding replacement out at right field. Heller exits the game. We'll have to see exactly who that is coming out into the game. But the change parade continues with a 3-0 Spartans lead now. They won't be pinch hitting Perkins, it looks like. The first pitch, Watson with the bunt. The play at the plate, safe, not in time. The squeeze from Watson works to perfection. And it is official. The 2023 Tampa Spartans are the highest scoring program in, well, the highest scoring team in program history with 245 runs on that play. It's a 4-0 Spartans lead. Galehouse is going to pinch run for Watson now as Perkins steps up to the plate. Just waiting on the scoreboard to be fully set before resuming. That is also an unearned run for Barnhart. Off the previous error. Galehouse steals second, 2 in scoring position now with 1 away for Perkins. And we're ready to go now again. Barnhart with the 1-0. Fouled away. But caught down the foul line by Rushton. 2 outs. That brings up Chevalier. Say, Brandon, you missed one of the coolest plays of the season. A squeeze bunt down the third base line that scored the run.
It's crazy, you know, how things can just come to play. While it's perfect place, it needs to be perfect place. If it's not perfect place, it's not going to be executed well.
Mm-hmm. And it was executed to absolute perfection to give the Spartans a 4-run lead.
It's very fortunate for the bases, it makes sense to be apart. That way, you know, the runners can come in quickly.
One and one now for Chevalier.
I'm not even mic'd up right now. He's just something himself.
It's 1-1. Two and one. Two and two. Popped over to center. A diving catch by Villanueva to end the inning. Tampa scores 2, breaking the all-time run scoring record for any Spartans team, well, for any Spartans softball team. And we'll be back At the top of the 6th, right after this. Run scored for the team, yep. Well, yeah, it might be more, but for now they broke the record. And we're back. KT Simone ready to continue, or no, sorry. Yes, KT Simone ready to continue from the circle. Was able to relieve Feldman and get out of the jam previously. The Spartans roster stacked from head to toe, and this team just made history, scoring the most runs in program history. Has a chance to score even a few more. 0-1 count now to Lord. Taken low for ball 1. The 1-1. Chopped over to third. Russo makes the throw in time. 1 away. That'll bring up Stone Fulmar with 1 out. She's 2 for 2 today with 2 singles, but hasn't been able to score yet. Barry hasn't scored today. Still waiting on getting that first run. A bunt goes foul there. See the corner infielders playing in, Perez and Russo. Of course, Perez over at first base as the player. Filling in for DeSimone in the circle. One and one, missing up high. Fouled away. 1-2. This time a very short, slow off-speed pitch. Lands for ball 2. Yeah, whenever you make a little error like that, you got to be like a goldfish, and you got to forget immediately. 2-2 on the foul ball. Both Russo nor Balmer nor Fantone could get to it. Three and 2. Bailey, likely the player on deck. Unless we see 20 more changes from Barry that we're somewhat accustomed to over the course of this game. Hit to center field, but Keister has enough room to track back and get the second out of the inning.
Yankees win 3-2 against the Toronto Blue Jays. Just a little update for MLB.
Bailey ready to go with 2 outs. That Yankee scoreline was the same as the Friday scoreline here at Nomoli Family Stadium.
Taylor, did you know that the Yankees are the only team left in the MLB to not lose a game? Not lose
a game. They've lost a few, but
no,
series.
I mean the series. Excuse me.
Another swing and a miss. Currently down 0-2 is Bailey. Indeed, if you take a look at the Spartans' record this season, over the course of 3-game series, they've actually done the same thing. They haven't lost a series that has lasted more than one single game. Swung on and missed. DeSimo with a strikeout from the circle to end the inning. We played 5.5. The Spartans lead 4-0. And we're back, bottom of the 6th, and apparently Lisa Heller will be making the appearance in the circle. And from what we're looking at, this is her first time doing so this season.
Yeah.
She is listed as a two-way player, so not a huge surprise to see her, but so far it's only been Lee, Barnhart, and Angelico who have done so.
And the coach is making so many changes inning by inning that it's not surprising to see her get her first debut in the circle. We'll see how she reacts to Kate DeSimone.
We have a few games in the circle, but yeah, just the stat sheet doesn't say any this year for the freshman from Marietta, Georgia, previously at Lassiter High School. Yeah, taking a look. Yeah, no, this will be her first appearance with Bailey, with Barry. I feel like the Jeopardy music should be playing as we get the full details of the pinch fielding and all those other changes. And again, what we mentioned in the booth, it is good to be flexible when it comes to making defensive stops.
Mm-hmm.
It's obvious Cotter is planning for so many different things, wanting to get the best set of players out on the field, and you're free as a coach to make all those changes. Sure, it's kind of annoying to keep track of, but it gives your team a better chance to win the game.
And it gives the defense to see how they can react to it too. But all the changes that he has made, if you look at the score, it has not worked in his favor so far.
His first pitch taken low for ball 1 from Heller.
Interesting windup that she has. Doesn't even wind it all the way back like 180. Just a little curvy. I don't even know how to explain it, to be honest. It's so unorthodox. I haven't really seen that.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see pitchers that like to have different styles of throwing. Yeah, it doesn't wind the ball or arm all the way back. Just
it's more like I could say that it could be kind of equivalent to like a sidewinder.
Yeah, closer to like a more true MLB submariner in a way.
Yeah.
And speaking of submariners, I was calling a Japanese game not too long ago for one of the pitchers who averaged 77 miles an hour on his fastball.
Wow.
And got through 6 scoreless innings with 1 hit.
Wow.
But that's because of an absolutely wild submarine delivery he had.
It's the intimidation of the windup, probably.
It is. And just the motions. It's always weird to see it being tracked from low to high. And that's what makes softball difficult. The pitcher's closer, even if the velocity's a little slower as DeSimone draws a walk to start the inning. You also have to deal with the crazy movement you see from those pitches at that weird angle. Going to be a conference in the circle. I don't think they'd make another change. This is probably just to settle her down and keep her motivated as she continues her first appearance of the season. Runner aboard, and that'll bring up Carfora, who's come on as a pinch hitter again. Did so in the previous game, getting a second hit of the season. Drew a lot of excitement from the Spartans dugout. Carfora capitalizing here on senior day. DeSimone will be pinch ran for here.
By Hammonds.
Hammonds comes into the game.
Might not mention Hammonds was one of the first scorers in that game, the first game of the doubleheader. Made an excellent read, rounded the bases, and she got the run in.
I think we'll be ready just to go in a second as Carfora continues. Wonder if we're going to see a bunt here from Carfora. Try to advance the runner. Taken up high for ball 1. Strike 1 taken. Fantone is on deck. What I do hope is if we make it all the way around the order, we do get to see Galehouse and Weininger not get pinch hit for in these at-bats. That could be tricky as Carfora pops out to start the inning. 1 away. Fantone does get the green light for her 4th at-bat of the game. Earlier in the game, Fantone tied the record for a single player run scoring in a season at 41. Starts out 1-0 in the count. By the way, Barnhart finishes up her appearance in the circle. 2 runs, both unearned, 2 strikeouts, and 2 hits. By the way, all runs the Spartans have scored today have been unearned. Strike 1 getting the very low part of the plate. One and one. Two and one. Grounded, through for a base hit. That's Fantone's second hit of the game as Hammonds rounds to third. Runners at the corners with 1 away for Lily Keister. Although it's not going to be Lily Keister. Tampa's going to be making yet another change. Mackenzie Allen steps up to the plate. Started 13 games this season. 5 for 15 with an RBI.
Also was honored for senior day here earlier, prior to the second game starting. And she was playing with a knee brace yesterday, but I don't see that she has a knee brace on today, so she's feeling very good, very vibrant.
And good to see her ready to go. Allen, another veteran that got honored as the throw to second is made. And safe at home plate, the ump said that I believe Fantone might have been out at second on the steal attempt. But the double steal did work in the sense that the Spartans now lead 5-0.
Yeah, perfectly well rehearsed. They did it well. They got the run in. That's what matters the most. 2 outs here. I mean, Mackenzie Allen, there's no runners left on the base, but we'll see what she can do. They got the run in. Now it's 5-0. This is potentially the last at bat, assuming they don't give up any runs in the next inning.
Now, I will say personally, I think that Fantone was safe. It didn't look like there was a clean tag.
Agreed. But we're not the jury. We don't have the verdict on that, so we're just going to continue and move on.
And Fantone can be a little upset and maybe try to petition to Stephen Lewis, but not going to win in an argument with Town Hall. 1-1 now for Mackenzie Allen. With that run already coming home, the bases are empty with 2 outs.
I must say, there's a lot of stoppages in this game. It's very hard to see, very hard to tell because we don't have the audio. I don't know what's really going on. There's a lot of disorganization within the Barry Buccaneers. I just don't know if there's a communication barrier between the coach and the umps, but they are constantly having a lot of timeouts. And usually, if the players are having a little consultation at the circle, it will be the umpire who come out and be like, look, guys, we have to resume it. But it's them who are mostly just taking the time away of this softball game that usually only averages about an hour and 30 minutes.
So not sure what the change they're trying to talk about here. Doesn't look like there's any fielding change, or doesn't look like there's going to be a pinch hitting change either. It's interesting to say the least. So we're ready to continue here. Allen with a 1-1 count. Swung on and missed. The count goes 1-2 now. As Heller is now finally continuing the game. Grounded over to third. Throw to first. Not in time. Allen is safe. That brings up Weininger. Question will be whether that's graded as an error or a single. It's bobbled over at third base. And for now, it'll be scored as a single. That would be the 9th hit of the game for the Spartans. Or no, it would be an error. I'd say just wait and see what the official stats say at the end of the game at this stage. First pitch taken for strike one. Heller ready to go. First pitch taken. Strike two now. Weininger down quickly in the count. Weininger is a single and double today, just a triple and home run away from the cycle. Oh, 2. Weininger gets under it. Tracking all the way back is Villanueva. Makes the catch to end the inning. Well, to the top of the 7th. 3 outs to go, and Barry has 5 runs to come back from.
I pledge.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
I got it, yeah. So we're about ready to get underway. D. Simone back in the circle. Top of the 7th. Due up is Meller, Villanueva, and Heller. And looks like it will be Meller leading off, but I have a feeling that we will see a couple changes. I already see number 2 getting some practice swings in for Barry. I can only assume that on deck will be Brooke Muller then, coming on as a pinch hitter. No changes, I think, for the Spartans, although we do see Carfora over at third base. Perez, of course, still at first, with D. Simone in the circle. It's actually, yeah, one change, Carfora at third. The bunt goes foul. Miller was ready to try to run it out. And actually, Brandon was mentioning Galehouse in center field. That's actually true right now. Galehouse has shifted over to center field. I believe Mackenzie Allen is going to be in right field.
It looks like my error came into fruition.
Just took an extra inning or so to do so.
Maybe an extra game.
I actually think it was in this game. This game has felt like 2 games in one, honestly.
Yeah, like I said, previously mentioned, it's been extremely prolonged.
Fouled away, the count goes 0-2.
That foul tip hit off her, too.
Yeah. From the bat to body, it stings a bit.
Yeah.
Because contrary to what the name says, softballs aren't incredibly soft. Fouled away, Carfora tracking, but can't get to it as it hits off the netting. And I'll repeat another time, Nova Southeastern against Barry. That's going to be the home series next time for the Buccaneers, as this one's fouled away. Friday and a doubleheader on Saturday for them. Spartans fans, Tampa will be at home against St. Leo, the final home stand of the regular season. But with us being number 1 team in the nation right now, definitely expect us to host regional games starting on May 11th. That'll be a fun weekend series to see who can advance to the South Regional and see if the Spartans can make it. Still 0-2 as Malorix keep alive. Muller on deck. Popped up. And coming in is Fantone. She was shallow enough to actually not have to come in to make the play, but actually run to her left. Interesting positioning, but works out well and one away.
But, just good communication on that one. The sun does come out, so it's kind of hard to see it, but good communication by Galehouse. You have Russo playing short.
Yep, I actually forgot to mention that change. Yeah. Russo went from third to short.
Yep.
Balmer is, and I think, get a little rest for the rest of the game.
She certainly deserved it in this series.
For sure.
As they're going to close it out with the sweep.
Well, it's not over yet. 2 outs remaining. Here's Muller with the 1-0 count. And it takes strike 1. Muller came on as a pinch hitter for the first game.
Angelico. No, Lee. Number 11, Lee.
Checked foul. The count goes 1-2. Muller was 0 for 1 in the previous game as a pinch hitter. Fouled away. Swung on and missed. That's the second out of the inning. Barry down to their last out to try to avoid a sweep here. Heller, who pitched the previous inning from the circle, her first outing in the circle with one earned run, the first earned run of the day for Barry. Taking it side for ball one. Strike one taken. Heller singled back in the fifth. Lined and Carfora can't get a glove to it. Very close play, but a single with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th.
Yeah, good job by Heller. She just read it way too quickly. That's why it drove it to left field. I don't think Carfora was expecting that hit.
It's hard to react to the line drive going that quickly.
Especially that quickly, yeah.
Almost got a glove to it, though, as Bunn steps up with 2 outs. Last chance here for Barry. DeSimone needs one more out to help have a combined shutout in a very weird way. We don't see... Well, Fellman would get the win if the Spartans can hold on to it, because Fellman does get that. Two-0. Two and 1. Bunn's 0 for 1 today, but has 2 walks in a row. Finds herself ahead here. Three and 1. On deck is Rushton. My question could be, if things get hairy, could see a pitching change, but for now they're going to trust DeSimone with one more out needed. Finds the zone. It's a full count. Here in the top of the 7th. Chopped foul. That wasn't a bunt. We go again. Bunn keeps alive. The count's still full. Heller will be running on every pitch. No reason not to. There's 2 outs. They've got Lee on deck. Could be pinch hitting her. And ball 4 misses low. 2 aboard for Lee with 2 away. Now it's going to be Rushton now up. Rushton pops up, but it's going to go foul. That'll be disappointing for the Spartans. They were hoping that that final at-bat could have been quick, but Rushton will not want to be sat down that easily. Strike 2, down to their final strike again.
swing and a miss.
Swing and a miss. They get it. The Spartans take the series sweep and win 5-0. They are now officially up to a new winning streak of 14 in a row and are 35-2.
And they get that milestone 20-0 home record, an impressive record that they have under their belt now. And the Barry Buccaneers, they go down under 500, 23-24. They lose 23-25. Excuse me. They actually, speaking of 5, that's the 5th game they've lost so far. So, it's very unfortunate for the Barry Buccaneers that they go under 500, but they'll go back to Miami Shores and they'll regroup against Nova Southeastern. The Tampa Spartans.
6 in a row. I did the sign wrong. I was showing you there. But yeah, because the website hadn't updated. It will in a second. 6 in a row for the losses. And that'll be concluding the season series. Getting the victory will be Feldman going 4 1/3. Getting a 2 2 third inning save is Kate DeSimone. 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Spartans. No runs, 6 hits, 3 errors for Barry. Take a look back at Game 1. I forgot to mention McGinnis got her 8th win of the season. Angelico got loss number 8. Hey, we'll be back next time. Thanks for watching Tampa Softball. Taylor Storley alongside
Brandon
Davis, and I'm just completely brain deading right now because it's just been a crazy day. Thanks again, Ronaldo Zakiri. See you.